Hello, welcome to my sewing room for this episode of Friday Sews, where we talk about sewing and life. If this is your first time clicking on my channel, welcome. Thank you so much. My name is Celeste, and today I'm going to bring you up to date on what I've been accomplishing in my sewing room and a little bit of life update. So if you like something like that, go grab you something to drink, your favorite beverage. Today, I normally drink hot tea. I'm not a coffee drinker. But today I am drinking kind of what I call my energy boost drink. I have been quite fatigued this week. So what this is basically is a half a cup of coconut water, a half a cup of organic orange juice, a scoop of collagen peptides, and a scoop of greens. Use my little milk frother little device, and it's very refreshing. It doesn't look too good, it looks green, but if you can get past the visual, it does taste good, and I do find that it really, for me, gives me a little bit more energy. So go grab you something, pause it, and we'll come back and talk about what I've been doing in my sewing room. Well, this past couple of weeks in my sewing room has really been what I've called a reset. And what I mean by that, I've done a couple of shorts, but just a quick synopsis is that I spent time really dusting my room and vacuuming and changing out the needles in all my sewing machines and rethreading them to get ready for whatever my next project might be. I also took apart my serger and sewing machine and got in there with a little brush and got all that lint out. And so sometimes we may not accomplish a lot in our sewing room as far as physical things that we are sewing, but it's so important to take care of our machines because they do all the hard work and they are quite the investment. So if you have one of those weeks like I have had the past couple weeks, just spend that time resetting it so that when you get your Sojo back or you have more time, it'll be a clean slate that you can get in there and work on your project. So that's what I've been doing. And for me, a lot of clutter is not good because then I can't focus on what I'm doing. It really bugs me that I need to be doing something with this. I've also gone through and I've updated my sewing resolutions. Today is March 1st. Can you believe it? We are 2 months into 2024. I hope that you had a great leap day because we won't get that back for another 4 years. But I thought I would just kind of use you, as I mentioned in January, you're going to be my accountability group for my sewing resolutions. And so I printed mine out in black and white. We don't have a color printer in our home, so it works perfectly fine. If you would like this free template, I would be glad to share that with you. If you would just do the kind favor of going onto my Instagram and following me there and then sending me a DM, I will send you this template where you can just change it yourself. So just to recap, pardon me, I always get a frog in my throat when I'm on here. Just to recap, I have 9 sewing resolutions for 2024, and they're also craft related as well. So one of them was to scrapbook pictures from a box that I have, and I did set it out. And so here is the box that I'm talking about. As you can tell by that little shift in photos, I have not done that yet. But I have set it out in a more prominent place to kind of begin working on that as I'm really thinking through my next sewing project. Another sewing resolution was to back all of my t-shirts and sweatshirts with the interfacing. And I'm making great progress on that. I have not completed it yet, but I am making great progress. I have what I need to complete over here to my left. And I found some more sewing, more of the interfacing that I need that I thought I had to go out and purchase. But as I was going through the t-shirts that I had kept out in our garage, I noticed that I had interfacing there. I noticed that I had interfacing about that. Boy, sorry about that. And so I'm going to go through that, use it to back those t-shirts. And then I want to do another really go through all my drawers and go through the bins that I have out in the garage with some of my fabric to make sure that I really have all of my t-shirts and sweatshirts to begin putting that quilt together. And third resolution for 2024 was to embroider one item each month. Now, technically, I haven't done this, but in February, I did complete 2 embroidery projects. So really, when I was thinking about this, the end of 2023, I really wanted to complete like 12 things. So in the spirit of the resolution, I have been successful, but if we're going to hold it letter to the law, then I haven't. I've already been thinking about what I want to do in March. I think I'm going to do like a tea towel, Christmas. I know it's March, but I'll have it finished for Christmas because I never have time in the fall to get those kinds of things done. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about in my brain. The fourth resolution was to use current fabric stash for projects, and I did that in January and February. So thus far, I'm doing very good on that sewing resolution. A fifth goal was to sell my older serger because my mother, I have hers. It's been passed down to me because she is ill and no longer able to sew, and hers is self-threading. Hello. Yes, I'm going to keep that one. My older one that I purchased is still in perfect order, but if I have to choose between one that self-thread and one that doesn't, which one do you think I'm going to choose? You got it. The one that self-thread. So I want to clean that one up. And, you know, I've been looking online about the price for resale, what's reasonable if you're selling it on your own. And for me to get this machine cleaned and then resold, I would not really be making that much money. So I thought there are a couple of younger women in my church that sew. One of them has 4 children. 2 of them they adopted. They fostered to adopt. And so I'm really thinking about maybe gifting that serger to one of those younger women in my church, since I was gifted my mother's serger, to kind of pass it on. So I want to make sure that I have all of the parts that go with it. So I'm looking for that book, and I'm going to go through and make a checklist to make sure everything that came with it originally is actually there, and then see if either one of them would like to have it and actually use it. So that's what I've been thinking about. So that's kind of been a little deviation, but the point is getting that serger out of my sewing room. Another project was to work on a Santa quilt for my mom, and that was going to be embroidery work. And I'm really going back and forth on this because as I've done more research through some of the embroidery designs, it's not panning out as I had thought about it in my head. So I'm kind of still in the works of trying to figure what I want to do. And since I don't have a definite plan, I'm not going to start something just to be starting it. So I'm going to keep you updated on that. The 8th goal was to finish 2 tutorials. One was a pillowcase tutorial, burrito style, and I did complete that in January. And the other one was to finish my apron tutorial. I do have it all videoed. I just need to take the time to edit and to video the opening and closing of that video. So I'm halfway there on that sewing resolution. And then my last resolution was to complete Butterick 6377, and I did complete that in February. I will try to link that video below if you're interested on knowing my take on that pattern and how that actual garment turned out. So all in all, I think that I'm doing very well on my sewing resolutions, and I'll kind of keep us updated every couple of months, not every month, but every couple of months to keep me accountable. So thank you so much for letting me walk through that with you. Another challenge that I started back in July of 2023 is the 1,000 item declutter challenge. And typically those are done from January to December. But I started mine July 30th of 2023, and I'm not putting the pressure on myself to get this done in a year. I'm just taking my time and really thoughtfully going through items. So as of March 1st, I have decluttered 670 items from my property, and I'm including outside, garage, inside, in my sewing room. So 670 items have either been thrown out, donated, or sold on eBay. And so I'm very excited about that progress. I think that's, good work. I'm not trying to become a minimalist, but I'm trying to be thinking, if we had to move, which we're not planning on it, but if we had to, that would be 670 less items that I'm having to pay for someone to move to our next home if we had to. That comes from my growing up in a military home. We moved every, 2.5, 3, 4 years. And so we've been in the house for 2 years. So I've gotten that little itch. I'm not sure if some of you that are military kids have that same thing in your spirit to do. So that's kind of what I've been doing in my sewing room. I have been working through the resolutions, doing some more decluttering, and resetting my sewing room. So let's kind of move on to life. What's been going on? What have you been doing? I would love for you to comment below and make us a community of things you've been working on in your life, in your sewing room, patterns that you think are amazing. Comment below. So what have I been doing? Well, we've had some warmer weather and I've been taking advantage of some of those warmer afternoons when I've gotten home from work and finished cleaning up from dinner, going out and working in my garden. I was watching a recent video and if I can remember who it is, I'll link that person below, but they're referring to their garden as their backyard grocery store. Yes, that's what I'm doing. So all of mine's container gardening, and I just really have been enjoying thinking through, planning what's going to go in each container. I'm expanding it a little bit more this year, adding more pollinators, because that's really where I failed. Last year's I had a few, but I think I need more. And as I'm researching and learning more, I'm going to be expanding that. So I've really been enjoying being outside. I discovered last year we have a peach tree. And so between last year and through the winter, I've done more research on how to better care for that. So we'll see if I actually get fruit that I can pick. We've had fruit, but then some kind of insect got a hold of that. So I'm kind of doing some preventative measures throughout the year. So we'll see if I actually get some peaches we can make some peach cobbler with. That would be nice. Also, we're just gearing up for Easter. Wow. 29 days until Easter, and well, actually no, 30 days for Easter and 28 days until our Easter egg hunt that I organize for our church. And so we are packing thousands of eggs. Last year we packed over 20,000. My goal this year is between 30 to 40,000 because last year we had over 1,300 people attend our event, and we're anticipating more. And so some wonderful people in my church have been coming to our Easter egg packing parties, and that's been a lot of fun. A fellowship, and then some of them go out to lunch or dinner after they complete our time together. And so it's been a lot of fun to have those. So that's the busy season that we are in. I know many of you know, if you have been hanging around my channel for a while, following my mother's update, and we have completed 10 of the 20 radiation treatments. Yesterday, she refused to go. She said she was too tired. She's having some side effects, albeit from my perspective, they seem very minimal, but I'm not experiencing them. So from her, They seem to be quite hefty. We spoke to the doctor, and he said if they continue just to be too much for her, she does have the choice, as we always knew, that she could just stop, and then we would have to just see how much longer she had. So we'll see if she goes today. It could just been an off day. She's kind of going through some physical challenges right now, and she keeps asking me, what do you want me to do? And my response, although I thought I never, kind of parent my parent, I said, Mom, I would love for you to complete your treatments. That gives us a 50-50 chance of this being cured. However, I am not experiencing everything that you are experiencing. You're telling me all of these symptoms, but I'm not physically feeling them. And so I might have a different perspective if I were. So this is a decision that's completely up to you. And whatever you decide, I will support you in the best way that I can. So, she'll have to make that decision, and we'll see. But I really do appreciate your prayers and your kind words as we are in this journey with her. So I hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. I know that some of you are experiencing some pretty big, heavy snowstorms from what I'm seeing on the Weather Channel. Here in Florida, it's sunny, and we're going to have some torrential rain this afternoon. But I hope that you will stay warm and safe wherever you are. And thank you again so much for stopping by, enjoying your cup of tea or coffee or your energy drink with me as we just have fun, create a community of talking about things we like, and that's sewing. I hope that you will consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell so that you are notified of other videos that I upload, and hopefully next week I'll have something actually completed to show you. So thank you so much for staying tuned to this video, and I will see you next Friday in our next Friday Sews episode. Thank you, my friend, and happy sewing.